welcome you all with my love and respects. First, let me introduce this program, what we are going to do in these next 2 days, the structure of the whole program. Health is not just absence of disease. It is not just you are out of hospital. Of course, all of you are out of hospital. That's why you are here. Health is not just absence of illness. Health is a state of physical, psychological, emotional, and spiritual well-being. It is just being alive, life expressing itself through you, life dancing in your body is what I call health. Please understand, not even life walking through your body, no, life dancing through your body. But again and again we feel maybe it is just a fantasy. Life cannot be really dancing through our body. No, it is not. Small story. Einstein dies and goes to heaven. The doorman says, "We are preparing your room, sir. Please wait for a moment. Till then you can stay in the dorm." Einstein says, "Don't bother about it. I can be comfortable in the dorm till you prepare the room." The doorman takes Einstein into the dorm and introduces all his roommates. First he says, "Here is a guy, his IQ is 180. Immediately Einstein says, "Wow, great. I can discuss mathematics with him." The next guy comes, the doorman introduces, his IQ is 150. "Yes, great, I can discuss physics." The next man comes, this guy's IQ is 100. Immediately Einstein says, "Great, I can discuss some business." The third man comes, and they say, his IQ is only 50. Fourth man, his IQ is only 50. And immediately Einstein says, "Great, I can discuss atheism." Understand? Atheists go on claiming life bubbling in the body is a fantasy because neither they experience nor they can perceive. Life can dance in your body. I tell you, life dancing in your body is health. I am not singing, writing a poetry, or I am not selling you a fantasy. I am conducting a workshop where I have to talk practical things. Understand? I am conducting a workshop where I am supposed to be talking practical thing, where I make things practical. Working shop is workshop. You are going to work here. I am conducting a program where you are expected to experience, where I am expected to put you in experience. I am not selling you theories. I am telling you the truth, the experience. Life dancing in your body is health. There are two key factors directly connected to your health. The first, the happiness. happiness with which you are living. I can give you hundreds and hundreds of researches, tons and tons of studies done by universities all over the world. University College London, Department of Epidemiology and Public Health, and University of Kentucky, Center for Gerontology, they have done a beautiful study. I'll just give you the summary of their findings. I can give you tons and tons. I'm just giving you one sample so that you understand the close connection between being blissful and the health. Being blissful is not morality, it is not luxury, it's a survival need. Come on, it's a survival need. It's not like I am blessing you. If you want, you can be. If you don't want, it's okay. No. It is not blanket, it is inner. Blanket can be luxury, but inner is basic necessity. Bliss is not just a blanket. It is not like luxury. It is basic necessity. Just few of these findings can give you an understanding. Being blissful is not just luxury, bringing yourself to happiness is basic necessity. Then you may start asking immediately next question. We all know we should be happy, but how to? That is the reason we are sitting here. Understand, it is not really true that you all know you should be happy. You don't even support your happiness. First, I want you to understand you need to support your happiness. So that is the reason I want some of the scientific studies to be discussed with you all. The functioning of certain key biological process in the human body is improved by happiness. These are the findings of Department of Epidemiology and Public Health, University College of London and University of Kentucky. First, functioning of key biological processes in the human body is improved by happiness. There is a strong, clear connection between happiness and longevity. When they analyzed the handwritten autobiographies of 180 nuns of mean age 22 and compared the positive emotional content of the writings with the nuns' health 6 decades later. 6 decades means after 60 years. It turns out that sisters who used words like joy and thankful lived more happily, lived at least 10 years longer than those who expressed negative emotions. These are some of the studies done practically spending 50-60 years. The next, they studied 200 middle-aged people, their daily lives. People who reported that they were pretty much happy every day were verifiably healthier. See, infusing happiness into your everyday life, not postponing it after certain things happen. Even the people who postpone their joy and their happiness for enlightenment, thinking that 5 years I will work for enlightenment, after I become enlightened, I will enjoy. No, you are committing a sin. It's a crime. Happiness is associated with reduced neuroendocrine, inflammatory, and cardiovascular activity. To investigate the psychological connection, the University College London scientists have done some more researches I'll describe. Put their volunteers, men and women, between 45 to 59 through laboratory stress tests, monitored their blood pressure and heart rate over a working day, collected saliva samples to measure the cortisol content in the volunteer. Cortisol is a stress hormone related to conditions such as type 2 diabetes and hypertension. It impacts various physical conditions. The results were clear cut. There was 32% difference in cortisol levels between the least and most happy participants. Happiness can make 32% difference. Please understand, 32 is not a small joke. Happy subjects showed lower responses to stress in the plasma fibrinogen level, a protein that in high concentrations often signals future problems with coronary heart disease. Happy men had lower heart rates over the day and evening, which suggests good cardiovascular health. Additionally, they found that health-related biological factors were independently related to happiness. Every factor was independently related to happiness. Let me tell you from my experience. I have seen from my experience, I can say that all these university studies which I am quoting you, they all take some 200 specimens or 500 subjects and analyze. Let me tell you from my experience, I can say that University of Cosmos, research with at least millions of people, millions of subjects, people who carry happiness. I don't want to equate contentment with happiness. Please understand. I am not equating contentment with happiness. No. People who are not contented with anything in their life, they are not contented about the money they have, about the relationships they have, about the people they have. They are not feeling contented about anything, but they can be happy. Because I want you to understand the happiness a little deeply. Let me define. Happiness is constant fire burning in you. This fire may cause or can be interpreted as discontentment. Running. Some of the psychoanalysts, as I said, there was a guy running around me in the name of devotee, was in this field, psychoanalysis. He always used to tell that, why are you running like a headless chicken? For him, it may feel that I am running around with restlessness. But I tell you, because they understand happiness as contentment. No. The societies which teaches materialism need to teach about contentment. But I am telling you very clearly, happiness has nothing to do with the idea of contentment. It is something like exploding in energy continuously, expressing intense energy. I can define contentment as this moment, your energy expression and your activities being in balance and tune. That's all. if your activities and your energy is in balance, you are happy, you are healthy. Contentment has nothing to do with happiness. Many times the word contentment is used to curtail your creativity, to stop your expression, your freedom. So understand the word properly. Sometimes the words are so strongly connected in society, you miss the real meaning. Contentment is not happiness. It is not necessary for happiness. Happiness is, see, I am not contented. I am not keeping quiet. If I am contented, I should be keeping quiet. I am not. Whole day I am working. If I am contented, I will not be having the energy to work, inspiration to work. But I am happy because I know every action I do is in tune with the energy I have. So the energy goes on expanding. It goes on expressing. And I am happy, but I am not contented. Have the right understanding for contentment and happiness, because the words sometimes miss. Small story. A teacher asks a child, give me a sentence about a public servant. The child says, the fireman came down the ladder pregnant. The teacher took the child aside and to correct him. Hey, don't you know what pregnant means? The child said, sure, I know, it means carrying a child. It may look same, it is not same. Carrying a child outside and carrying a child inside is different. So the word contentment and the happiness may look same. It is not same. May look same, but it is not same. Infusing health into your system means infusing happiness, not contentment. Contentment is too poor word, too ordinary. So let me go to some more researches. More and more scientists are suggesting religious and spiritual practices directly add to health. Please understand, it directly adds to your health. Your religious practices, spiritual practices directly expresses itself in your health. Yakir Kaufman, Director of Neurology Services at Sarah Herzog Memorial Hospital, these are some of the findings which I found in the internet. They are proving very clearly, working with a large number of participants. They have done a 10-year study with 21,000 people. And the finding is regular religious practitioners live an average age of 7 years, average 7 years longer than those who are not living any religious practices in their life. Please understand. People who have some religious practices in their life, like worship or meditation. Even if you imbibe 42 minutes a day, any religious practice, I don't even want to say only someone, anything that keeps you in touch with the higher purpose of your existence. They say people who keep in touch with religious activities at least 7 years live longer than those who never keep in touch with a religious lifestyle. And African Americans with a strong church affiliation live an average of 14 years longer than all other ethnic groups in United States. Understand, this study is not from one specimen or two specimens, 21,000 specimens across the US and spending 10 years. All I am going to do in these 2 days is remove the barriers that stop you from being blissful, awaken the intelligence to live a healthy life, install a new health consciousness in you. Health consciousness lacks especially with the spiritual seekers. Almost all of you are seekers. As I know, I am working with the seeker community. Of course, usually when the seekers come and sit in front of me, people sometimes ask, Swamiji, whatever you speak is useful for the whole world. It is universal. Why only seekers come to you? No. I purposely plan and create such an ambience around me. Even when I talk about health, I wanted only seekers to get benefit. If I talk about wealth, I want only seekers to have the benefit. If I talk about the leadership consciousness, I want seekers to have the first benefit. When I talk about the excellence, I want seekers to have the first benefit, because whatever I am talking are the most powerful working secrets. These should be handed over to good people. What I am giving to the world is universal. The knowledge and the techniques I am going to share with you all for next 2 days is universal. Anybody can have benefit from it. They can have health. Same way my wealth program, they can create wealth. The wealth consciousness will be installed in them. And same way relationships. They will create an amazing relationships. Understand? I am continuously going to radiate things directly useful for your life. But I am continuously going to create the barrier of thrones and the rope and the rudrakshas and the temples. I will go on building temples. So that all the great things I am sharing with the world is useful to the seekers first. There is a beautiful verse in Tamil. When the rain comes, he comes down only for the paddy and the agriculture purpose. But sometimes weed also gets little water. The remaining water, little bit, if it goes to weed, no problem. But the whole rain should not be enjoyed by the weed. Same way, all the rain I am going to shower on the planet Earth, whether it is the amazing, powerful process for health, for wealth, or consciousness, or leadership, or relationship, I want first the paddy of seekers, the real seekers to enjoy. The remaining little bit can be used by the weed also. I won't bother. But I don't want the weed to be my audience. the seeker community of the world, I wanted all of you to understand you are the owners of whatever I am sharing. Whatever I am sharing will work directly in you. I am addressing you. I am not doing generalized talks. No. I am talking to you. Creating health consciousness in you is the purpose of this 2-day workshop. First, I'll introduce few great truths on physical health. Your health is a result of all the thoughts, ideas, and beliefs that you have about health. Please understand, your health is a result of all the thoughts, ideas, and beliefs you have about health. All the thoughts, ideas, beliefs you have about health is like water. How water becomes ice in the cold, and if the ice continues to stay in the same or lower temperature eternally, it becomes spatika rock. Ice mixed with minerals and stays as ice for eternal time. When I say eternal, I mean at least few hundred years. Without melting, it becomes spatika rock. Same way, the ideas and beliefs you carry about your health, in the first level, it will be like an engram, water level. Then the next, it becomes your muscle memory. Then next, it becomes your bio memory. Understand? If you are carrying a wrong idea about your health, oh, my father is diabetic, I am going to be having diabetes. In the initial level, it will be an engram. When you see your brother also getting diabetes, it will become muscle memory. Because the engram is getting frozen in your system. When an engram is supported by logic and experiences again and again and strengthened, it becomes muscle memory. In muscle memory level, it will create only psychological pain, mental suffering, stress. But if you allow the pain to be in you, psychological pain, without removing, without working on it, in a year or two, it will become biomemory. Means you will be having diabetes. You will be having sugar. This is the way an engram, a wrong belief. Why? You did not imbibe thousands of qualities from your father. There are so many qualities you did not imbibe from your father. Why don't you trust God also works little better in course of time? Why don't you trust God has intelligence? He can develop himself. A small story. Child was playing with her grandfather and asked the grandfather, "Grandpa, did God make you?" Grandfather said, "Yes, dear." After a few minutes, she asked, "Did God made me?" Grandpa says, "Yes, he made you too." After a few minutes, suddenly she opens and says, "Grandpa, I think God has started working much better lately." God can develop His way of creation. God does develop His way of functioning. Understand, God is not a standard machine that He goes on producing the same type of model and piece. No, He is living intelligence. He is awakened consciousness. He continuously upgrades Himself. He expands. So you don't need to carry that engram because your father had, you will have it. No. I tell you, one wrong engram, slowly, when it is supported by collected evidences, becomes muscle memory, and your muscle memory, if it is not cleared, if the programming stays in you, then it becomes biomemory. Your muscle memory is programmed with your beliefs. Every body part is constantly dying and being born, but your biomemory retains all your memories, and all newly produced cells are born with this already available biomemory. Please understand, if you don't carry any disease in your biomemory, no disease can stand and stay in your system more than 1 year. It is your biomemory which retains the blueprint of any disease, and when the new cells are continuously produced, creates the new cells with the same way with the old disease. All your body parts are replaced within 365 days at least once. Your intestine gets replaced every 21 days. Some of your blood cells get replaced within 11 days. Your whole liver gets replaced within 6 months. Your whole body, including brain cells, are replaced within 1 year. So the same day last year, whatever you are having, it is not there now. Not even one cell is there in you now. But why are you carrying some diseases from last year to this body also? See, if the whole body is newly created, then how are you carrying the disease? Because the biomemory carries the disease, carries the blueprint of disease. And when the biomemory carries the blueprint of disease, when it is creating new cell, it sends it with disease. It sends it with the disease. Please understand, the first thing we need to work is working on your biomemory and muscle memory. First session, I wanted to work on your wrong beliefs about your health, which you are carrying in engram level, muscle memory level, biomemory level. So now we will go for an exercise. You need to write down the earliest memory and ideas you had about health. In the young age, sometime if you are in the family where people are continuously sick and you believe sickness is lifestyle, I wanted all of you to know, I have so much of gratitude to the family I was born and brought up. I have never seen people going to hospital in my family. I lived in a joint family. The whole number, the other day we were counting, the other day for my biography I was dictating, I am writing my autobiography, I was dictating the family tree, the people, number of people with which I lived directly, whom I will be seeing or who will be seeing me is 147. Please understand, every day means at least within 24 hours, whom I will see or who will see me, who are directly related by blood. I am not talking about the friends whom I will see in the school. No. I am not talking about the teachers whom I will see in the school. No. I am not talking about the people who are in the road, shop, with whom we do business. All those count. No. Who are connected to me by blood, whom I will see every day, in every 24 hours. Can you imagine? I am from this large family. But when I was sitting and looking back, when I was preparing the syllabus for this class, that's the time I was looking back. What is the ideas I carry about health from the young age? Of course, after enlightenment, all the ideas have disappeared. That's different. What's the idea? I realized I have never seen anybody going to hospital in my family. I don't know how you will be able to believe, but whether you believe it or not, I am believing, so I am saved. Never saw. Rarely, if they have some fever, cough, cold, opposite house there was a doctor, ordinary MBBS, and 10 rupee doctor. Go there and give 10 rupee, he will give an injection and handful of tablets which you take for one day and throw the remaining things into the well or ocean or anywhere you want, river or dustbin. That's all. That's all is the idea I have about health. Because of this, somehow my biomemory by nature believes people don't fall sick. That's all. And now I am seeing every day thousands of sick people. Even now inside my inner space, the belief about the health has not changed. I don't feel people fall sick often. Last 8 years of my public life, I have not cancelled a single program due to health reasons. Of course, my calendar is packed, was packed and is packed, except those few days which they kept me in prison. Even in those days, I was taking class for the prisoners. I was busy teaching them. My calendar is busy. The idea you carry about health plays a major role in your health. So recollect and write down all the earliest memory and ideas engrams got inserted into your system about health. Recollect and write down the incident and your experience when you first fell ill. I can tell you, please listen first, then you can start. No need to start immediately, wait for some time. I'll tell you from my experience. I remember I was doing Padayatra from Tiruvannamalai to Vadalur. Vadalur is a place a great enlightened master and mystic named Vallalar in Tamil Nadu lived. So I was going for a festival in Vadalur by Padayatra. It was, I think, maybe 7 to 10 days. Fourth day, I had fever because we were all sleeping on the trees, under the trees and walking. That was the first time I know some uncomfortable feeling inside my body. I was not even able to tell it is a fever. I was telling the people with whom I was walking, I said, I am feeling little uncomfortable, tired. I am trying to verbalize. Then they checked my body temperature and I said, oh God, you are having high temperature, 104, 105. And they had a first aid kit, like a thermometer and all that. They checked. They said, it's 104. I could not understand. But I saw very clearly their reaction and the ideas they are putting into my head. Oh, if somebody else means they would have fainted, they would have been lying down, they can't even sit. How are you standing? How are you walking? All this sympathy. In the name of sympathy, the poison they are putting into my system. I tell you, this is what killing with compassion. Do not enjoy sympathy. Do not entertain this political compassion. That's the right word I will use. Even they are not planning to put those ideas into my head, but unconsciously they are putting poison on me. See, whether knowingly or unknowingly, if somebody dumps poison on your head, will you keep quiet? Run away. I immediately told them, stop, enough. If you want, give medicine. They made some kind of a herbal medicine, which is usually made in villages, and gave me. I became all right. I told them, now stop talking about the fever. The neem flower, the neem tree, there will be small, tiny flowers. So if you take that flower and make a herbal juice, by boiling, essence, the fever will disappear within a day. So they found a neem tree nearby and shook the neem tree and the flowers fell. They got those flowers and made the herbal essence. And they gave me the essence. I told, stop giving. Just give me only the herbal medicine, kashayam. Don't try to give your ideas. This is my first experience with illness. I can say in a way last experience. After that, this hand fracture, which happened recently. Of course, this did not cause any pain and I did not have any big trouble. And by the time I had this hand fracture, nobody can put ideas into my head, and only I can put ideas into people's head. So I have grown up, no problem. My first experience with illness and the way I handled others' ideas about illness formed a strong foundation in me to radiate health. Maybe I will create a Guinness record in next few years. The only person who lived a public life, who did not cancel even one day of his program due to health reasons. We can do a survey. I think I may create a record. The basis, the ideas I had about illness. Same way, recollect and write down the incident and experience of the First time when your near and dear one fell ill, in your family, if somebody falls ill, you will be suffering more than they. And recollect and write down all your current health beliefs. Like, as I said, I'll get diabetes because my father already had it. My father has it. I will have blood pressure because my mother has it. It is hereditary. I'll get headache if I get exposed to the sun. This kind of beliefs, current beliefs you carry. And the fifth, write down all your current health fears and worries you carry inside you. 5 things. For each question, I want you to write the answer of at least 1 page. So now 5 questions, at least 5-page answer. Write in a detailed, elaborate way. Come on, put your paper and pen together. Start penning down. Write in a detailed way. For example, your current beliefs about health. Write all the current beliefs you have about health. When I say muscle memory, which is giving you psychological problems and pain, like a morning you are not able to get up and you can't give up the tea, you can't give up drinking, you can't give up alcohol, psychological pains and sufferings. When I say biomemory, which has become disease, for example, diabetes, blood pressure, cancer, which has become disease, that is what I say that is what I mean when I say biomemory. Come on. Come on. Somebody who discovered your engram becoming muscle memory and biomemory now, or in the level of muscle memory, come out. Get your papers. See, any strong revelations you had by this writing, the understandings you got, you can come up and share. Then I will answer your questions also and give you the deeper insights. This is an important revelation. How the mental setup repeats. See, I have seen people getting imprisoned by their mental setup. All of you are understanding what she is telling. The same mental setup repeating. Come on, some more insights here.
Swami, right from when I was young, people used to compare me with my brother. And he used to be athletic, take part in sports and all. I think for some time I was not doing that. But that became an image. They used to say, oh, he doesn't take part in sports, my brother used to play in sports. So they'll keep repeating that many times. So it sort of got recorded in my mind that I am not athletic or I cannot run. And I used to develop a lot of reasons for that. I said my knees are not okay, my breathing is not okay. So for a long time I never did that. I think only during this Kailash training, I realized that I could actually run. So I had to force myself. Then I realized that I'm not doing much because I haven't pushed myself. So now I can sort of do some, but still that pattern, the feeling is there that I'm not athletic or I cannot do physical activity.
See,
or do some, it's enough for me.
Beautifully, Rama tells Hanuman, Asatya sadhaka means anything you feel you can't do, force yourself and do it. Now when you see you can't be, then do something for this 1 year. Decide, I am going to walk with Swamiji in Kailash. doing parikrama. See, I can never imagine. As I told, as some of you may be aware, this time when I went to Kailash, I almost had one heart attack. Really did not have, but almost I can say, because my oxygen level has dropped to 60. It cannot come down less than 90. Even if it comes down less than 90, it's very difficult to push it back. For anesthetic people, if in the field of anesthesia, you know, if it is less than 90, they will not allow. And even less than 80, you can manage. But it has gone to 60, my oxygen level. And my pulse rate has gone to 150 at one time. But I have decided not only, see, when that happened in Kailash, immediately all I did is, when I became all right, I did not decide to come back. I called the videographer and spoke my will. Who should administer the ashram if something happens to me, where my body should be laid to rest, all that I dictated. But I said, no, I am going to go. Decided. Of course, we went successfully and came back. Now I decided, even that is not complete success. I am going to go for parikrama by walk. I am going to go around Kailash this time by walk. And I am running every day now. I have decided I have 1 year. I have 1 year. I will prepare the body. I am going to go for parikrama by walk. Decide, that's all. See, that is the way you break. That is the way you break. I tell you, if you feel you go in the rain, you will have wheezing. I tell you, try once. You will not die by wheezing. Push yourself. Push yourself every time at least 1 inch. 1 inch. 1 inch. This is the way you will break from engrams. Never ever otherwise. Never ever otherwise. This is the way the life is. Understand? Engrams, if they are just engrams, you can come out by understanding. If they are muscle memory, you can come out by small practices. If it is biomemory, you have to break it. Literally break it. She said that she has a constant fear of getting cancer for no reason. She has seen that even some enlightened masters get cancer. Please understand, don't compare the enlightened masters' diseases and your diseases. They are altogether in different spectrum. You think Ramakrishna felt life is too bad and got cancer? See, ordinarily people get cancer when their muscle memory starts believing life is bad. If your muscle memory believes life is good, you will not have cancer. But don't compare this, don't apply this law to Ramakrishna. See, Ramakrishna decided to drop the body. He dropped it. See, it's like there's a cup. I decided to drop. And when I left it, it fell and broke. So Ramakrishna left the body. Then he had the cancer. Understand? Ramakrishna did not have cancer and leave the body. He left the body and body had the cancer. He decided to leave the body. He said, all right, I am relaxing. My avataric mission is over. He has initiated Vivekananda. He has infused energy into all his disciples. He has given them instruction how an organization should be, how his Sangha should be, how his Sampradaya should be. And he has done his job and he dropped his body. He left his body, then body had cancer. So don't compare with Ramakrishna's cancer and your diseases, your problems. It's wrong. Ramana Maharshi left the body and it had cancer. They did not have cancer and leave the body. No. The difference is big. The difference is big. So don't bring this logic, the masters had cancer, you may also. No. That's a wrong logic. And second thing, of course, you are not master. That is another one thing. I can see so many loopholes, wrong reasonings, wrong connections. First thing, don't justify your fear. Second thing, handle it directly as a fear. And if you handle it directly as a fear, we can find solution. Be very clear, you are not going to get the disease. It is just fear. Let us work on fear. Let us at least know the problem. See, if you know the problem at least, you can work on it. Come on, next. I can give you one small story. How we suddenly invent reasons, how we suddenly invent. I can give you small story about how we come up with reasons and connect different things to different way. A small story. Resolving to surprise her husband, a lady enters into his office, pops by his office. She finds him in an unorthodox position with his secretary sitting in his lap. This guy suddenly realizes he is caught, and now he changes his dictation. Without much hesitation, he says, and in conclusion, as if he is dictating a letter, he says, and in conclusion, gentlemen, credit crunch or no credit crunch, I cannot continue to operate in this office with just one chair. So this guy is trying to create completely different logic for a different situation. Understand, that is the way that you try to connect the enlightened master's cancer and your fear of cancer. And it has no base. It has no base. It is just an ordinary fear. Let's handle it as fear. Some caught it and some did not catch it. It's okay. Come on, let's listen some stories.
Nithyanandam, when I was in first standard during holidays, me, my uncle, my mom.
No, slowly. Because the international audience have to hear you.
Me, my mom and uncle, we had gone to see my results. So I had secured first rank, and out of joy I came back home running to tell everyone that I have secured first rank. I didn't realize that there was a slippery floor, and I fell on a knife with which my grandma was cutting vegetables. My left hand it got cut, and blood started oozing. And it was so much blood. It was not just blood, so many particles inside. I started to look at it, what is coming from inside. Then I started crying. Everyone were shouting as blood, so I started crying, oh, it's blood. Then my uncle took me to the nearby hospital. They bandaged me. And when I got up, I didn't have the pain, but all I saw was my hand was in a big bandage. Then everyone at home came rushing at me. It's like, oh, Shamli, something has happened to you, something has happened to you. Everyone is like, my dad, usually I like sweets a lot. My dad bought sweets and okay, fine, I won't tell you. You ask me anything, I'll get you. So I was like, everyone caressed me a lot when I had that wound. When I went back home, I used to get all the privilege I wanted when I fell ill. It was a privilege. Everyone was talking to me very beautifully, and they were caressing me a lot. So then I thought, okay, if I fall ill, I get whatever I want.
God, what a wrong understanding.
Then from then on, okay, I thought, okay, it is just my opinion. At my house, my uncle also had a fracture. Even he was being offered some very nice, delicious food, which then I used to like a lot. Oh, then you get nice food also when you fall ill. Fine, so you have to fall ill to get everyone's attention, and everyone should caress you.
This is a very completely, I can say, wrong logic to catch. It's a complete misunderstanding. Please do not entertain this thought in you. If you fall sick, you will get attention. Then naturally what will happen? Whenever you feel you need attention, Just lie down and pull your blanket. See, after a few days, your mind will become master. It will create disease, not act. Anything you fake, you make. It's a law. Understand? Anything you fake, you make. Why do you think all our brahmacharis, if you see, I give them so much of methods, process, whether from dressing or living and everything. In the initial level, it will be like a fake only. You may think, till yesterday I know this boy, he was running around the cinema theater and outside, and suddenly he has come to the ashram and put on this rope and big rudraksha everywhere and shaved his head. It may look like fake first 1 week, but after 2-3 years, he will just make it. So, if you fake disease, you will make it. Don't do that. Never ever do that. A small story. Old lady is trying to see whether her granddaughter learned colors. So she tests her. She would point out something and ask what color it was. And the granddaughter will tell the answer. It will always be correct. It was a fun for the grandmother. So finally, the granddaughter, she moved outside, she was going out of the room, and she says, "Grandma, I think you should try to figure out all other colors by yourself." So the granddaughter thinks, grandmother doesn't know, she is learning. A wrong logic. Many times, you get caught with the wrong logic. The wrong logic means when you fall sick, you will get attention. That is I can say that it's equivalent to poison. That is why whenever some ashramite falls sick, I will never go to their room or attend. I will give them food, medical care, healing, but never attention. Giving attention to people who are sick is make them more sick. It is nothing but making them more sick. Don't give attention. Even in your family or friend circle, give them medical care. Give them whatever they need physically. Don't give them attention. Don't give them psychological support. Tell them, for you to come out of disease, whatever we need to give, we will provide. But don't expect we will be standing next to you. Oh, what happened to you? You were like this, you were like that. No. Relax. Many times, you expect if you fall sick, the whole world should be around you and comforting you and praising you and pulling you up. No. Relax. Many times what you ask is not only impossible, impractical. Next. Come on.
Nithyananda.
Yes.
My name is Akshay. I'm first time doing a course here. Actually, I used to practice a lot of martial art when I was young.
No. Come to the point
Yeah, I'll come
specifically.
straight. So what happened? So many times I used to always twist my head here and there like this. It always used to happen like this. And at that point of time, I used to think that I used to see some movies, so I saw all these martial art heroes they used to do like this. So I was thinking this is kind of like being good in the art. But people used to ask me that what is there? What are they having some pain? Do you have some problem? Later on, this whole idea dropped with me that it is connected with something good. And another idea came in that if you keep doing your head like this, something some pain or something like should be there. And nowadays I actually feel that there is always some kind of a pain I always have in my neck. So it's kind of just correlated with what you were saying.
All right. I understand.
And
You'll work on
it also happened. My dad always had some red eyes, and I never had any problem seeing that somebody has a red eye or something. But people would ask like, why do you have red eyes? Why do you have red eyes? So I got this idea that maybe having a red eye is not a sign of health or something like that.
Oh.
And presently, I feel that okay, sometimes I also have a little reddish color in my
Ah.
eyes. So what is it? Something like that.
I understand. We'll work on it. Come on.
My mother had sciatica, which is severe pain going down the back of her leg. And she would always walk around, like this, bent over, and then she would be taking her knuckle and grinding into the back of her back all the time. And when I was in my 20s, I also couldn't drive the car because when I would put on the gas pedal, the pain would shoot down the back of my leg. It was such severe sciatica. So then as I became older, it was still there and it was hurting just on the left side. It never hurt on the right side. So I went for a healing with Swami and I asked for him to heal it. And he said he would take care, but I didn't really believe that it would happen. So there was a part of me that wanted to believe it, but there was another part that said it was still there. And I've been here at the ashram on and off, and I roomed with a lady, her name is Liz Horn. And Liz had extreme arthritis all over her body. And Swami healed her of her arthritis pain. She was an older lady, and she was having a lot of trouble getting up and moving, and she was in much worse pain than I was. So I saw that her muscle memory had shifted, and we went hiking, and she was climbing like a spider on the rocks, like she was in her 30s, and I'm like, oh, my pain, my back. So I started to recognize that, hey, my biomemory can shift just like if hers can, mine can. So I've been walking around the ashram, and I trained for Kailash, and I started making my body move in the same way as if it were not in pain. And I pushed through it. I just kept on making it. I didn't care whether it hurt or not. I just pretended like it didn't hurt. And that's been maybe just a couple of months ago. It's completely gone. There's no more pain.
Wow. So she has actually completed the cycle. First, the engram becoming muscle memory, biomemory, and finally getting out of biomemory. She has completely presented the whole cycle. Great. Come on, next. I'll here, decide. Come on.
Yeah, I remember myself to get a lot of illness when I was in child, mainly because of fear. I remember once I got sick seeing a dead body. Once I got afraid of a shadow and I had a high fever and things like that. My family used to consider myself to be a weak baby. Once I got into school, I had a teacher who had a good concern about people's health and beliefs and stuff like that. And he was once telling, look at a child which is there in the street, okay? It's poor child. Nobody is there to take care of it.
The idea.
Yeah.
The belief you received.
Yeah. It's just next to a sewer water also, flies around it. It doesn't get any hygienic food, but it's healthy.
Yes.
Guys, you are too much pampered by your parents that you are not physically, more than physically, you are not mentally prepared to take infections. That and his idea that English medicine is not good for our system, it creates side effects. I started taking...
See, this English medicine, let me put it very clearly. I am not against allopathy, but I am against the allopathy doctors claiming they are almost like gods. See, allopathy can do many wonders. When I had fracture, I myself rushed to the allopathy hospital. I was treated as per the allopathy tradition for my hand, for my fracture. Allopathy did wonder. I don't think Ayurveda or Siddha would have attended this so perfectly immediately. But allopathy can attend only the physical things which can be observed and presented, reproduced. It cannot attend the parts which needs to be witnessed. Please understand, anything which can be observed, presented, recorded, able to reproduce those parts, allopathy can attend. But anything needs to be witnessed, use necessity for the awareness is required. In those places, allopathy will not be able to do much. It's like a small story. One girl was crying in the church, "Oh God, please make Moscow the capital of China." The priest went near her and asked, "Why did you pray like this? Why must you pray so, my child? Why are you praying to God, telling that make Moscow as the capital of China?" The girl says, "That is what I have written in my answer sheet in examination." It is impractical. You cannot make Moscow into the capital of China just because you wrote in your examination. You are asking for impractical and impossible thing. Same way, sometimes you ask impractical and impossible things from allopathy. That is what is wrong. I wanted to make my views about allopathy very clear. Come on.
Yeah, so based on those beliefs, I started taking fever, pain to some extent which I can handle, and then go to medicines. So slowly I found myself to be immune to the all regular kind of fevers or whatever it is. So why I'm trying to say is, while writing this, I realized I had some relation how people describe things and how I believe things has an impact on my own physical being.
Directly it impacts.
Yeah. So at this
That is why I tell you, see, my first idea about pain is, it is not there. That is what Raghupat Yogi taught me. The first thing he taught me is, pain is not there. Your body, what do you mean? Come on, get up. I can say, first time when I fell from a small pillar, the Arunachaleshwara temple, and I was expecting somebody will come and call me, wake me up. But Raghupat Yogi just screamed, "Hey, get up. What do you mean by lying there? You are a man, wake up." And I just got up. How I got up from that falling, the same way only I got up when I fell from the horse. Maybe after 25 years or 30 years, I don't know. Fortunately, he did not tell, "Oh, you have fallen, what happened to you?" If he has said that, after falling from the horse, I also would be waiting the same thing from my disciples. First thing I did is, "I am okay, don't worry." I just got up and said, "I think there is a fracture, let us go to the hospital, that's all. And do the surgery." And we have the whole thing video recorded. I will show you guys. The security camera, the whole thing is captured. Not even 2 seconds. I fell and just got up. That's it. So the first ideas you get and you believe plays a major role. 7 o'clock morning I fell. 2:30 did this surgery. From 7 to 2:30, how many hours? 7.5 hours, no painkiller, no anesthesia, no medicine. I was not unconscious. Doctors expected that I will pass out for this kind of fracture. Actually, first when I called them and told the doctors, I want the surgery to be done without anesthesia, when they heard me talking, they asked the person who was next to me, "Is Swamiji conscious? Is he talking?" And they said, "No, he is sitting and joking and laughing." And then they said, "No, we can do it without anesthesia. Come on, let him come." They thought it's a hairline crack. Only after the X-ray, they said, "Oh God, it's a compound fracture. See, both the bones broke and came out through this hole. This is the hole through which the bones came out. Both bones came out. It's a compound fracture." Then they said, "No, we are afraid to operate without anesthesia." I said, "I am not afraid. Why are you afraid?" They said, No, we are afraid." For 7 hours, no anesthesia, no painkiller. Just because the first idea I received about pain, it is not there. Na iti, not this.
Yeah, I
Great.
have got couple of fears which I think I should work now. One is obviously I see in the printout itself, like my father has got diabetes, so somehow I believe it's hereditary and it might come to me anytime. And second thing is like right from my college years to some 4 5 years back, I had been a heavy smoker, and even after that, whenever I get stressed up with work or whatever, I used to smoke. So simultaneously I will also have a fear, okay, that I'm smoking, I might get cancer, I might get heart problems or whatever it is.
You will work on it.
Yeah, thanks.
See, it's like a suffering. One side, the habit also is not going. The other side, the fear is also not going. It's like you are caught with biomemories. You are imprisoned in muscle memories and biomemories. The worst prison is prison of muscle memory and biomemory. People come and sometimes show their sympathy. Oh, you have been imprisoned. I tell them, hey, it's only 53 days and it is not real prison. And I was free. But you guys are imprisoned for years and lives. Get out of your prison first. And then you can show all your sympathy to me. Muscle memory and biomemories are the worst prison. Come on, let's listen to more stories. Come on.
My grandmother, she had arthritis, and in winters her fingers would get very swollen. And also my aunt had arthritis, and they used to have a lot of difficulty during winters. So at that time, I developed a deep fear of pain and also of cold.
Don't worry.
And
See,
now
I have
developed.
proved successfully the arthritis can be healed by Kundalini awakening. So don't worry about it. When it comes to arthritis and all, you can't heal it by words. You can't make it. It has to be given. See, there are some things you can make it. There are some things man can't make it. It has to be given. So when it's arthritis, don't bother. You are in right place. I'll see that the chain is broken by the Kundalini awakening.
I have arthritis.
You have now?
Yeah.
It will be healed. I'll work on it.
Thank you so
You
much.
are, you levitate? No.
I think I have Kundalini awakening.
Okay.
Shaking.
Then okay. That's enough. I'll see that before you leave the program by tomorrow, the arthritis comes down.
Okay. Thank you.
And the Kundalini awakening, you see, this Kundalini awakening, especially people who levitate, their body can be programmed by me just by a word. Nothing else is required. Just word. It can be given. See, there are some things which man can't make it. He has to be given. Small story. A young man asked an old rich man how he made his money. The old guy started telling a flashback story. Oh, well, son, it was 1932, the depth of the Great Depression. I was down to my last nickel, and marketing was the key to my success. I invested that nickel in an apple. I spent the entire day polishing the apple, and at the end of the day, I sold the apple for 10 cents. The next morning, I invested those 10 cents in 2 apples and spent the entire day polishing them and sold them at 5 p.m. in the evening for 20 cents. I continued this system, and for a month, by the end of the day, I will get $9.80. And then the young boy became very curious. Then what happened? The same way you build the business. No, then my wife's father died and left us $2 million. Understand, man can make up to $10. After that, he has to be given. I'll give it.
Thank you so much.
You see, he has kept himself alive for $2 million. That much only man can do it. He made something and he did not die. You see, he could have died. If that 1 month he did not have a food, he would have died. He kept himself alive. I also tell you, keep yourself alive for the God to shower on you. Nothing else is required. Just keep yourself alive. He will shower on you.
So
Swamiji, laziness is at which level? Biomemory, muscle memory, or engrams?
Sorry, laziness?
Laziness is at which level? See, I'm very lazy. I'm not able to come out of it. And see, when I do yoga, when I do exercise, I feel very good. And after some day, then I'll enjoy that health. And
I
I'll
can
not
say
feel-
that laziness is, that's what, laziness is become a biomemory. We will work on it. We will work on it.
Okay, to justify that, actually, I feel that my father is lazy. That's why I'm also.
No, no,
lazy.
no, what I am saying, it is all justification. It is not that you imbibed all the great qualities of your father. There are many you left. And you pick and choose. I tell you, you pick and choose. You don't ask about everything. Does your logic questions everything of your father's?
Yes.
No, you imbibed all the qualities of your father.
Positive qualities.
Huh?
No, I try to imbibe positive
Ah,
qualities. first.
but laziness immediately you imbibed.
So
All right, we'll work on it.
it's
We'll work on it.
biomemory, is it?
I understand. We'll work on it. It has become biomemory. We'll work on it. Laziness is always biomemory. It is not muscle memory. Laziness is a direct disease. Please understand. Laziness, see, cancer kills you and immediately people bury. Laziness kills you, but they bury little later. That's all. People with cancer die and get buried. People with laziness die, but get buried little later. Now there are millions of people who are dead, but not yet buried, moving around. Okay, relax. A small story about this father and son. There was a man who had 4 kids, all gorgeous, except for the youngest one. This fellow, the youngest one, was really ugly. While on his deathbed, the husband asked his wife, "Dear, tell me one thing, and please be honest. Am I the last one's father?" Wife says, "Yes, honey, I promise you, the last one is 100% yours." Then this guy says, I can die as a happy man. Goodbye, my love." He closes his eyes and peacefully passed away. Then the wife gives a big sigh. Oh, thank heaven, this guy did not ask about the other 3. It's not that you imbibe all the time, all the qualities, and you pick and choose.